it's Clarice, and today I'm going to be doing the Unpopular Opinions book tag. This tag was created by the Book Archer and I was tagged by Books with Wings, so I'm gonna link both of their videos for this tag down below. A lot of tag videos focus mainly on the books that we love and we like, and as much as I love telling you guys about what I really enjoyed reading, I'm also excited to share with you today some of the books that I didn't enjoy so much. So let's just get to the tag. A popular book or series that you didn't like. If you've been watching my videos for a while, this shouldn't be a surprise to you. But even though a lot of people on BookTube love this series, and even though I can kind of see why, I personally didn't really like the Mortal Instruments series. As you can see, I've only read the first 3 books because if I'm not enjoying it, what's the point in continuing? But I read the first book and I liked it. I really was intrigued by the world actually. And then I got to the second book and Clare and Jace were just annoying the hell out of me, but I told myself that I knew that this big story arc ends by the 3rd book and that a lot of people actually love the 3rd book. So I figured I should give it a chance. Just read until the 3rd book and figure out what I felt about the series then, and I read the 3rd book. And my feelings about Clare and Jace didn't really change. The plot twists, while they did surprise me, weren't really the type of plot twists that were to my taste. Overall, mostly to do with personal preference, even though I really was intrigued by the world and was actually really interested to learn more about it. I just didn't really enjoy a bunch of the other elements of this series. A popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate, but you love. I realized after the Booktubeathon ended that my 2 favorite books during the Booktubeathon, the 2 books that I gave 5 stars to, were actually the 2 books that had the lowest ratings on Goodreads out of all the books that I read, which I found weird. So I thought it would be cool to mention those. The first of those books is Lullaby by Chuck Palahniuk. It's a book that revolves around the concept of this culling song, which is a song which, when read to someone, the person that hears it dies. Really interesting concept. Really weird, but really interesting and engrossing book. I personally really enjoyed it. It's kind of a weird one. Most of Palahniuk's books kind of are. So I can see why a lot of people gave it low ratings because it really isn't for everyone, but I personally really enjoyed it. And my favorite book, which I read in the Booktubeathon, which also had the lowest Goodreads rating out of all the books I read in the Booktubeathon, was Down and Out in the Magic Kingdom by Cory Doctorow, which is a sci-fi book set in the future in Disneyland, and it's really kind of weird to explain. It's better to go into it not knowing anything. But I love sci-fi and I found the culture and the technology just extremely fascinating. And so I loved it, but again, like the Palahniuk book, it's kind of weird and the main character isn't very likable. So I can see why other people wouldn't like it, but I personally loved it. A love triangle wherein the main character ended up with the person you did not want them to end up with. The Hunger Games. And for anyone who for whatever reason hasn't read The Hunger Games, I'm just gonna put the word spoiler in the screen and I'll remove it when I stop talking about it. But basically, I didn't really want Katniss to end up with Peeta. I actually am totally okay with Peeta as a person. But for me, while I was reading it, just in my head, Peeta was just like majorly friend-zoned by Katniss and that she didn't really like him. And if I felt that he weren't just majorly friend-zoned, I would have been totally okay with it, but it just didn't feel right to me. By the end of it, it felt like she was just settling, like, fine, I'll be with you, fine, we can have kids, you know, it just didn't feel right. A popular book genre that you hardly reach for. Contemporary, specifically contemporary romance. There was a time that I was super into reading chick lit. Based on the chick lit I've read before, I just found the plots really repetitive, and I personally just really enjoy things like fantasy where there are new worlds and interesting magic systems, or sci-fi where there's all this interesting technology, or even just really heavy contemporary that deals with deeper issues and makes me really emotional. But contemporary romance, not so much, just not for me at all. A popular and beloved character that you do not like. Clare and Jace, as I already mentioned. They're just too frustrating and angsty and I can't really deal with it. A popular book author that you can't seem to get into, Cassandra Clare? So in fairness, a lot of people are saying that even if I don't like the Mortal Instruments series, maybe I will prefer the Infernal Devices series. If you think, based on what I dislike about the Mortal Instruments, that I may prefer the Infernal Devices, please leave a comment down below. Maybe I will eventually be able to get into Cassandra Clare's books, but at the moment, a popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. the insecure main female character who feels like she's not pretty at all, or like she's nothing special. And then at the start of the book, she either finds out that some guy is secretly in love with her, or someone she just met suddenly falls in love with her. And usually it's more than one guy, love triangle, you know. And I don't know, at this point it's just getting really, really repetitive already. A popular series that you have no interest in reading. Off the top of my head, I can think of like 3. Among those are The Selection, and then The French Kiss, and Shatter Me series. And I know a lot of people love these books, but based on what I heard from the people that like this series and from the people that don't like this series, I just don't think they'd be for me. And while I'm not saying that I think they're gonna be terrible and I'm gonna hate them, I'd still rather spend my time reading other books, so I don't think I'm ever gonna get to these. The saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you think is actually better than the book? Nobody get mad at me for this, just because I can't think of anything better, because nothing immediately comes to mind. I normally end up preferring the book. But I'm going to say The Lord of the Rings. In fairness, I've only read the first of the 3 parts of The Lord of the Rings. I've only read The Fellowship of the Ring, and everyone tells me that that one's kind of the slowest going out of the 3 parts. And I've watched all the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm not saying that I think that when I finish reading the books, the movies are still gonna end up being better. The movies are just really, really good. So that was all the questions. For this tag, I am tagging Confab with Abs and Rachel Hobson. So I hope you do this. I'd love to hear your opinions, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing your videos. So anyway, that was the Unpopular Opinions book tag. If you have any unpopular opinions that you'd like to share with me, please leave them down below in the comment section. Also, please like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!